Oh, difficulties today. Sorry about that, everyone. Today, we're talking about the perfection tax. So, when your white colleagues make a mistake on Thursday, it's forgotten by Monday. When you make the same mistake, it shows up in your performance review 6 months later. Same mistake, same workplace, completely different consequence. That's not your perception. That is documented in the cost of Black excellence research with over 1,000 Black professionals across 4 countries. So, why did I decide to do this session? By the end of this session, you'll understand completely why you can't bring yourself to take risks at work, even when you know the idea is good. You'll understand why you recheck work you already know is right, why you don't put your hand up for the stretch assignments, even though you're more qualified. You'll leave knowing these aren't personal limitations, they're a rational response to a system that has punished your errors differently from day one. And you'll leave with specific moves that you can make this week to start reclaiming your energy and without the perfection tax consuming you. So I'll just wait a moment to see who we've got online at the moment. And apologies once again that I am late. Technical difficulties here. So we're not live on LinkedIn. Seems as though we're only going live on YouTube. Right, I will continue. So I'm Natasha Williams. Have I'm Natasha Williams, and I did a study called The Cost of Black Excellence with over 1,000 professionals across 4 countries. And I distilled it down to 15 taxes. And this is a system that no one else is measuring. One of the reasons why I started to do this research is that I experienced burnout myself. So, what I did, I started interviewing people whilst I was coaching them. I qualified as a trauma informed coach. And then I decided that I would, I saw this pattern over and over again that black professionals were burning out at a different rate to our white colleagues. So I decided to do some research on that and find out why this is actually happening. I interviewed about 12, 13 people. I then went on to design the whole research, and what I came up um, with something called a research instrument called the cost of black excellence. So I've been talking about the foundation taxes, and today what I'm talking about is the performance tax. Sorry, not the performance. Last week we talked about the performance tax. Uh, week two we talked about the performance tax. Week three we talked about the proof tax, and then the perfection tax. So today, the perfection of tax, the margin of error is harder than everyone else. You prove your credentials now. You can't afford to make a single mistake. These three taxes stack on top of each other. Each one, by the time the perfection tax activates, you're already depleted. And that's why I call them the foundation taxes. So, what exactly is the foundation? What is the perfection tax? It's the demand to maintain a flawless performance at all times, because black professional error is attributed to race rather than treated as ordinary developmental moments it would be for a white colleague. And I've put a quote that illustrates that at the bottom here. So it takes a performance toll on everyone. Participants describe how their mistakes receive prolonged discussion, appear in performance reviews months after they occurred, and get cited as evidence in advancement when opportunities arrive. Colleagues make similar mistakes, and they don't get the same treatment. It disappears from the organizational memory within days, and it's used as a learning opportunity. 93% of people within the research said that they have suffered from stress related symptoms. Achievements are almost always minimized or undermined. 86% say they feel pressure to work harder. And here's a quote from someone within the research: over preparing for every meeting, ensuring every fact, policy, and precedent is right. And that's immense stress on anybody to do anything. So, just over preparing for meetings, achievements that are minimized and undermined unless they are unquestionably recognized as exceptional. So someone said in the research, great is just not good enough. 93% said that they suffered from stress symptoms, stress related symptoms. Yes, and I said that great is just not good enough. And that is a pressure that a lot of us are feeling within this world right now. So you triple check your email, you know is already right, not because there's an error, because the cost of the error is higher than anyone else in the thread. And I think we had an example of this with someone within our community who was just constantly checking things over and over again because they didn't trust what was happening. So, yeah, so that's what's happening to us on a regular basis. So 90 that results in 91% of people considering leaving to protect their well-being, because it's just so difficult. So someone said in the research, I feel I have to be excellent to get less recognition, success, and career satisfaction than mediocre white individuals. And that is someone within law. Where in your career right now are you staying in a lane that is too small for you because the cost is of getting something wrong feels unaffordable? And in this climate that we're working in at the moment, it's about not making those mistakes because we could lose our jobs. So, what would your career look like if your that margin of error match your white colleagues? One of the people within the research, when I was doing the interviews, a lady called Janice Sutherland, I think some of you might know her. She is a coach, a career coach, I think, and she works from the Caribbean. And she said this: no one gave me a job because I was black. I got the job because I earned it. And I continue managing my performance. Nobody can second guess if you say, this is what I was given, this is what I delivered, and this is what I exceeded. And that's a shift that is available to absolutely every one of you. I do realize that within the research, it says that there is a deeper cost. The perfection tax doesn't just cost you career opportunities, it costs you your relationship, sometimes outside, and also with yourself. Perfectionism creates psychological pressure that increases the likelihood of the very errors it's trying to prevent. The anxiety narrows your cognitive capacity. Your working memory shrinks under sustained pressure. Your ability to think creatively reduces. Your risk tolerance drops to zero. And you become more likely to make errors because of how hard you're working to avoid them. So, a research voice again, I feel the pressure to perform perfectly has impacted my perception on self in a negative way, which I'm trying to unlearn. And like I say, that's available to all of us. So, at entry level, that person is already unlearning what the system has done and how she sees herself. The perfection tax is not just about taking risks, it tells you every day that you cannot afford to be human. And I'm telling you that you can. And what you could do differently in your career right now is have your margin of error match your white colleagues. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but bear with me. So, I say that you can make 5 moves right now. Stop performing for rooms that have already decided. So, sometimes you go to work and you decide, they decide that they don't, it doesn't matter what's coming from your mouth before you start to speak. Excellence is not the answer to bias. Redirecting your energy away from those places that don't respond to how you work is one of the highest value career moves you can make. So you go where you are appreciated. Number two, build your own performance record. Your organization's memory is selective. Your errors stick, your achievements disappear or get attributed to someone elsewhere. Counter this counter this directly. Keep the document outside your work systems where every record, every project is delivered, every decision that is held, every result is produced. You have a record that belongs to you, and you can keep that on your Google Drive. You can store it in Dropbox or anywhere you want to. Number three, give yourself your colleague, um, the same margin you'd give a colleague you respect. When a colleague you respect makes a mistake, you contextualize it, understand it, and move on. Give yourself that. Give yourself grace. The perfection tax has trained you to be your own harshest critic. Interrupting that internalization is some of the most important career work you can do. And number four, take one risk. Choose one this week. The hand you didn't put up, the idea you didn't share, the conversation you've been rehearsing but not having. Start small, one risk, see what happens. And number five, find the community where your excellence is witnessed and your errors are human. The perfection tax is sustained by isolation. When you surround yourself with people who know what you've delivered, who hold your competence as settled, the internal standard shifts. Their perspective becomes part of how you see yourself. So that leads me to the next step where you can join the COPE community. And I built this community because I finally understood that navigating the excellence tax alone was part of the design. The perfection tax, the proof tax, the performance tax, they all operate more powerfully in isolation. When you're the only one, every interaction starts from zero. Nobody carries your history. Nobody witnesses your excellence, and nobody there when the tax makes you doubt yourself. Nobody's there for you when you doubt yourself in your workplace. So inside the community, we do that. So you can join as a community partner, which is free. And we have every Tuesday we have is that every Tuesday we have the tax break, which is live coaching. And Fridays, once a month, we have first class Fridays with a trained specialist. So we've got founding members, membership at the time. I think we've got 80 places left at the moment, and it's a 97 one-off payment, £97 one-off payment, and that price doesn't return. It goes up when all those places are gone. So I'm Natasha Williams, and next week we'll be talking about the survival taxes, and that's when we go up the ladder and we start to look at real documented taxes that affect you within the workplace. Thank you so much. And thank you, Selena, for sending your comments here. I didn't read them out because I was thinking about not streaming to other platforms like LinkedIn. So for me, this has been the most main determinant in my career. I always knew I had things right the first time. No excuses, no second chances, and that's absolutely right. And I think we internalize these taxes, to be honest. I think a lot of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be that perfect person within the workplace, and it causes so much issues. By the time we get to about 40, and that's the research tells me this, by the time we get to about 40, 45, a lot of us are burnt out because we have been striving to be perfect at all times, while our other colleagues are not burning out for the same reasons. We're trying to do all this people pleasing and it just doesn't work. But thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and thank you. I'm going to put this onto LinkedIn, and I'm really sorry to my LinkedIn crew that I invited this week and it didn't go live. Um, how can organisations balance out this tax for Black professionals? Well, one of the things is a lot of colleagues will say, bring yourself to work. Obviously, you cannot do that. But the thing is that organizations can give us grace in terms of making mistakes. And it's about psychological safety in terms of just allowing people to express their opinions without any talkback. I think I was on a panel once, and there was a lady that actually told someone off. This was another Black lady. She actually told someone off in front of the board. And I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think employers need to learn how to take people aside, have these conversations, but it's not put it in their performance review or anything like that. It's just for you to look at this person and say, are you struggling with this? Are you struggling that? Do you need more support and help in any sort of way? So I think that's what our managers, our leaders can do in order to make us feel a bit more comfortable that we don't have to kill ourselves at work, basically, and just overwork for no particular reason. But yeah, thank you for that question, Selena. Any other questions? No? And with that, I will see you next week, Thursday, and hopefully we will be live streaming to LinkedIn as well. Thank you.